The film opens with Captain Brodie Torrance in Singapore, calling his daughter Daniela as he intends to arrive home in Honolulu to spend time with her for the holiday. Brodie, a former RAF pilot, is flying Trailblazer Airlines Flight 119, and he arrives to meet his co-pilot, Samuel Daly, who informs Brodie that they are going to fly through a storm. Bonnie, the chief flight attendant, informs Brodie that he is needed to meet an RCMP officer. The officer informs Brodie that they are transporting an accused killer, former French Foreign Legion soldier named Louis Gaspare. While in the air, Brodie and Daly talk, with Brodie mentioning how his wife had passed years earlier. He tells him about his daughter and mentions that she is the only member in his family. As they pass over the South China Sea, the plane encounters heavy turbulence when it passes through the storm. The storm gets worse, leading to the plane suffering damage, and Brodie injures his head in the commotion. The RCP officer leaves his seat, is thrown about, and dies. Our stewardess leaves her seat to assist him and is also killed in the turbulence. Brodie and Daly have to manage control without commands and radar, bringing it to a safer balance. Realizing the damages are too heavy, they have to make an emergency landing. The pilots find an island and make a rough landing. Once everything settles, Brodie has the passenger get out of the plane. He and Daly learn they are on Jolo Island in the Philippines. In New York City, at Trailblazer headquarters, the board of directors is met by their crisis manager, Scarsdale, to try and locate the plane and passengers. Brodie tries to keep Louis away and scared from the other passengers due to his violent history. Brodie works with Daly and Bonnie to keep the passenger calm and to find a way to call for help. Daly tells Brodie that Jolo is operated by violent separatists, meaning they risk putting everyone in danger the longer they are here. The rebels, led by Datu Janmar, catch wind of the plane's crash landing and hope to gain from the passenger. Meanwhile, Brodie goes with Louis into the forest to find a way to contact for help. Back in New York City, Scarsdale and the board review Brodie's history file, featuring a video of an incident where Brodie held an aggressive passenger in a chokehold until he passed out after the man punched Brodie when he tried to calm down an altercation. They learn of Brodie's calls to Trailblazer and his daughter and are able to identify the plane's location. Scarsdale sends a private mercenary team to rescue the crew and passengers since he knows of the threat on the island, and the Philippines government is unwilling to help. The two rush back to the plane but find that Janmar and his goons have already made it there. A Korean woman attempts to flee, only for one of the rebels to shoot her. Her husband is then brutally decapitated. The rebels proceed to take everyone else hostage while Brodie and Louis hide. Once the rebels leave, the two subdue a remaining rebel and learn that Janmar is taking everyone to a nearby village. Brodie and Louis resolve to follow and rescue everyone. As the two head out to the village, Janmar starts forcing the hostages to state their names and home countries for the ransom video. The mercenary team, led by a man named Shellback, arrives on the island, but they find nobody near the plane, only the bodies of the RCMP officer and the stewardess, along with a message from Brodie. Brodie and Louis make it to the village and kill some more rebels before locating and freeing the hostages. Everyone gets boarded into a bus. On while, Brodie offers himself to the rebels, helping to give the passengers a chance to escape. Janmar and his men beat him and prepare to execute him, but the mercenary team arrives and opens fire on the rebels. With Louis and the mercenaries' help, Brodie and the passenger escape. After the fight, Janmar finds his brother among the dead, driving his cause against the others to become more personal. The passengers and crew make it back to the plane, while Louis and the mercenaries fight off the rebels, who have followed them. Back at Trailblazer headquarters, Trailblazer's executive Terry Hampton demands that the plane stay where it is, fearing the consequences for Trailblazer if the damaged plane explodes in mid-air. But Scottsdale ignores him and tells Brodie to get the plane airborne before they are all killed by the rebels. Louis, who has found the ransom money brought by the mercenary team, chooses to remain on the island since he has no future going back. With most of the first wave of rebels dead, Brodie and Daly make an effort to get the plane moving. Janmar attempts to fire an RPG at the plane. Brodie lifts the plane high enough in the air that Janmar's vehicle smashing with the plane's wheels. The plane is badly damaged, but they head towards the nearby island, Siasi, with an airstrip. With only one engine left and limited control, Brodie, with Daly assistance, is able to land safely. Everyone at headquarters cheers. After everyone is safely deboarded, Brodie sits down on the steps of the plane and calls Daniela to let her know he is safe and coming home.